at home with the Warriors, and tonight we're joined by Curtis Darling and Krystal Darling, both former Waterloo Warriors hockey players. Krystal played 2002 to 2007, and Curtis played 2004 to 07. Also had a few years in the East Coast Hockey League, playing for the Ontario Reign and some other teams along the way. Thanks for joining us, guys. Tell us a little bit about what you are both doing now career-wise, and we'll start with that. So, Krystal, where are you working, and how are things going with our new coronavirus situation and environment?
Good. So I am the Chief Executive Officer for a company called TriMac Group of Companies based in Elmira, Ontario. So we are a multi-trade organization, millwrights, fabricators, and electricians. And in terms of COVID-19 and the coronavirus, our company has been developing PPE barriers for various facilities and workplaces, and some of them for our former alumni, actually. So.
Cool. And Curtis?
And since my time at UW, like you said, I played a few years in the East Coast League and bounced around, and then I began a career in real estate as a commercial broker originally, and I just joined a development company called Perimeter Development. So we're urban developers of mostly office, but mixed-use projects in Kitchener and Waterloo. So we're both here in the neighborhood.
Nice. How's life at home? Balancing two kids. You both have, obviously you have two young kids and both have jobs. Some sounds like you're working from home, sometimes sounds like you're going to the office. How's balancing our new environment, our new life?
It's been pretty crazy. I think that definitely a lot of challenges, and we have a lot of respect for parents that have to juggle both all the time. We're pretty fortunate to get some help so we can work, but also we have little guys, 1 and 3 years old, so they don't really grasp the whole COVID thing. They're a little confused about why they can't go to the park, but we haven't had to deal with any major missings of prom or anything. So I think we're kind of counting ourselves lucky at this point.
For sure. And talk a little bit about some memories you have and your time with the Warriors, things that stick out. Are you still in touch with some teammates? I'm sure you've made some lifelong friends that you still communicate with. Krystal, we'll start with you. You played hockey for 5 years. You started in 2002 when the women's hockey program first started. So obviously that was a pretty special year for you. Talk about that and some connections you still have with Warriors alum.
Yeah, no, I was fortunate enough to join the University of Waterloo in the inaugural year of the women's hockey team, which was fantastic. And yeah, I had the opportunity to join the group via Bill Antler, who was the coach at the time. And I spend quite a lot of time with some of our alumni that I played with throughout my 5 years and stay in touch with them. Some of them have just recently been married or had children, and yeah, so there's that close-knit group, and some of them were roommates, and so yeah, we still stay in touch, all of us. A couple Zoom calls through COVID-19 has been great. But,
yeah, and same, it's pretty hard for us to get far from the Warrior community. Krystal and I meeting at hockey and spending a lot of time together there. And I was just looking forward to, we've just before this whole COVID thing, the UW men's hockey alumni were doing a really good job of kind of getting guys back together, and a big push of kind of reconnecting that community. We had a skate going on Friday afternoons that I had gone out to and started skating again, which I hadn't done for a really long time. So it's almost a little too bad because I think this has disrupted that a bit, but lots of guys that I stayed in touch with, and we're doing a much better job of kind of getting that community in touch more consistently. So I'm looking forward to, what the future holds for our group. So.
For sure.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, I think that in the recent years, there's been a really strong push for the alumni women's hockey team to get together. So It's really great getting on the ice with some of the younger gals. I mean, they skate circles around us, and I'm not actually sure how I made the hockey team at this point, given the skill level that's there today. But yeah, it's there's been a strong group of ladies there running the alumni, and every year it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it's unfortunate this year we can't endeavor in those activities, but hopefully next year we can do it again.
For sure. Do you guys know of any alumni events that they're hoping to have in the new year in 2021, or is that kind of all up in the air, kind of a waiting game right now?
Yeah, so I think like Sarah Bryson and some of the alumni group there are planning on continuing with the golf tournament that they usually run in conjunction with the rugby team. And then as well, the event that they have in end of January, early February, where, the ladies get together, the old versus the new, and play a game of pickup, and usually stay to watch the game in the afternoon with the current team. So I think those are the two events that are planned for 2021, and I'm not sure if there's anything else on the docket, but that's what's there right now.
Cool. And Curtis?
Yeah, similar. Yeah, well, I think unfortunately at the end of this past season, weather killed the last big Wynn's retirement ceremony, and then the golf tournament will be next. So hopefully, I guess we're all COVID dependent on the next events, but that will be a good run next year if we're replacing that stuff.
Yeah, and you guys have been back to watch many games besides alumni game and seen. Do you notice much difference in I know, Krystal, you mentioned the talent level. I know women's hockey has come so far at the OUA and U Sports level. Have you been back to many games, or obviously it's been tough with your jobs and younger kids, but when you get a chance, have you been out to support the girls?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to watch them a couple times at the rink, but I do see them on TV once in a while on the highlights, and it's just incredible the talent that they have now. No offense to my alumni gals, but I think the current team could really honestly skate circles around us. So, yeah. But yeah, it's amazing to see how the team has evolved in the skill level, and just from a competitive standpoint, where their rankings are. I think we were hard pressed to even get into a playoff round when I was there. I think we did maybe one playoff round, but yeah, now it seems like that's just a regular thing for the team every single year. So yeah, the coaching staff and the recruitment is all top notch. So
yeah, Regan's done a good job turning that program around. So it's been good to see. How about for you guys still lacing the skates up and playing? What are you guys doing? Any men's or women's leagues, or have you hung the boots up?
Yeah, no, I played in the Cambridge League, and then there's kind of a few tournaments I play every once in a while, weekend stuff in Cambridge, so that's good. I mean, I don't have the luxury to travel just with two kids, but I get on the ice when I can, and unfortunately COVID-19 kind of canceled the season this year, but hopefully next year we'll pick it back up.
Yeah, I didn't skate much until we got that little Friday alumni skate going, which is a lot of fun. So hopefully it's back.
Awesome. Tell me, and just we forgot to mention off the top what you guys graduated with, and kind of how your degree set you up for what you're doing now.
So I graduated from the science program. So I have a Bachelor of Science and a minor in economics. And certainly we interface with the food industry and agriculture industry. So from a science perspective, it's become very useful. But I would say probably more strongly the economics aspect of my degree has been extremely useful just in terms of my role as CEO. So I'd like to think that just in conjunction with the degree and also varsity sports has kind of propelled me in terms of my career, in terms of multitasking and being able to manage a lot of stress and just getting a lot of things thrown at you all at once. Like that kind of makes you well versed, right? Like went to university, held 2 jobs, played varsity hockey, and got a degree. So you're kind of used to that pace level and prepared for the world as it presents you when you graduate. So yeah, I'd say it's pinnacle in the development in terms of my career right now.
my answer won't be anything like that. I think I started in arts and business and then tried speech communication and left with a BA and ended up in real estate. So with a minor in pro hockey in the middle. So yeah.
Awesome. You just went all over the place until you landed somewhere, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. They really didn't kick me out and they let me leave. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, just one more question. Just pretend like we're COVID free, and obviously that's hard to do right now, but we'll get out of this and we'll get back to eventually a new normal. But what would you tell yourself now if you're back in university? Kind of what would you say to you? Some advice that you would give your university self now that you're in a job and you got some young kids? What's some advice you'd say?
I would say live it up and just enjoy the time and don't worry about sleep because you won't get it when you're out of school with kids anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'd say just enjoy the time, enjoy the freedom, like embrace everything for what it is, good, bad, or yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. I think that you put so much pressure on yourself in the moment for everything to be perfect and what you will be. And I think so many of us end up in different places than we expect. So just to I think live it up is the right way to say that, it goes without saying that I think when you're at your UW, it's going to demand some hard work and some focus. So enjoy that and don't put too much pressure on the future. You'll end up in good places from UW. It was a good experience.
Yeah. I'd say perseverance and dedication, I think, are the keys, and ambition, to being successful outside of school. So as long as you have those things, then you'll make it.
Awesome. And like Curtis, you just jump around and then you might get a minor in hockey or a BA and then end up in real estate, and who knows where you go from there, right? So don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Honestly, all joking aside, one of the great things about UW is I think that, I'm joking, half joking, and that you will learn great things being there, and it comes with a lot of respect coming out of there. So it's going to open doors for you no matter what. So I think, keeping your head down and just appreciating what we have there. And now we have great hockey programs with a great education. It's going to open a lot of doors, maybe not the door that you see while you're there, but we're both pretty proud of UW and the program and hockey and sports. And it's disappointing to hear today that you said about the fall, but I think when those things are back, they were really important in how we met each other, who we became, and all those things. So sports are critical to that experience, and hopefully they'll be back in a big way. So.
Yeah, and I would just add that you don't really understand the power of your relationships and the networks that you create in being a student at the University of Waterloo, but I can't tell you how important those relationships and connections have been just in my career alone. So, do everything that you can to get out there and engage yourself in different groups and different sports, and again, live it up, because I honestly believe that they will come. Yeah, those relationships are going to be very important in the future, and you just don't know where.
Looking back on it, it was the glory days.
It was the glory days.
like you guys said.
And I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, the connections you make last a lifetime, like you guys said. So, I guess I said that was along the last question, but can you tell a story of how you two met?
Yeah, we can tell it. Curtis has a different view than I do.
Oh yeah, no, I just remember the real story. Go for it.
So it basically started with Kate Shippey, who came in to the gym that I was working out in. I was on the treadmill, and she came over and she's like, "Krystal, there's two hockey guys that just joined the men's hockey team, and they're so good looking." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, great." So anyways, I'm on the treadmill. I'm just doing my thing, and then you tell the rest of the story.
Well, the first time we met, I walk in to work out on the treadmill beside her, and it won't start. And so she's running with her headphones on beside me, and I ask "Hey, this treadmill is not working," and she gives me the "Did you turn it on?" earphones back on the treadmill, and I was like, oh my God, what a bitch. Like I go 2 treadmills down and just started up 5. Like the thing was actually broken. So
Well, and I thought because Kate came in and said like, oh, there's these 2 like head honcho hockey players coming in, that they thought that they're, you know, they were just so arrogant that they could get any girl. So I was like, no, that's not
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, no.
so
I thought he was hitting on me. He wasn't hitting on me. So
Okay.
and from then on there, it was, you know, we actually spent a lot of time with the hockey girls and guys partying together. So it was, we had a lot of fun at those parties between guys and girls, and we kept bumping into each other, and yeah, the rest is history.
For his sister. Nice. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, guys, for this conversation and bringing us up to speed on your lives and giving some good advice to our current students. And appreciate you joining us for At Home with the Warriors.
thanks very much for having us.
Thanks for having us. Good to see you.